Welcome to another Demarcation Media Mega Construx review. Today we are going to be taking a look at the Covert Ops Armor Pack. So these sets were kind of an interesting spin on the customizer packs that Mega did. Instead of having the two figures and extra weapons and crates and whatnot, instead they just kind of split it in half, essentially, giving us one figure and enough parts to customize that one figure a little bit, as well as giving us one weapon. There's really no customizing in the weapons department. But we got these special crate pieces, which were color-coded to their respective figure, which is kind of cool. Yeah, honestly, I kind of miss having these around. They were neat sets. So we are going to just run through this like normal today. I am testing out a new camera and a new mic, actually. So if this video looks or sounds a little bit different, that is why. This is kind of a test to determine if this will be the way that I shoot things from now on. So let's just go ahead and jump in and start with the figure. Alrighty, so here is our figure. He comes by default in the Stinger armor set. That's how he comes, like, when you see him on the box, he'll be in Stinger armor set. Although some of the product images do show him starting off as an Athlon. So let me set him aside for a second. We do have one single weapon here in this kind of bright silver color. Not a color we get very often. There was a handful of weapons like this in the Warrior series blind bags. And this is like the newer style one that can fit a muzzle flare, and it has an attachment rail on the top. Kind of an odd color for Spec Ops. I mean, if you look at him, his weapon is brighter than he is. So people might not see him coming, but they sure as heck are going to see his shiny chrome AR coming. But it's a pretty cool color to get. Nice that we get a bit of a rare color per se. And then, speaking of rare, the Stinger armor set is kind of incredibly rare coming from Mega. They've only ever done two. This guy and the red one from the 10th anniversary blind bags. So it's really a rare armor set. Just about as rare as EOD now, although EOD does have more variations. And this is not an armor that everybody loves. But personally, I think it looks pretty cool. It's very different. It has a very Cyclops look, and the kind of sleek style, I don't know, something about it appeals to me. I think it just looks good, particularly in this black color. So I think it's probably about time that I do a Stinger comparison at some point soon. So keep an eye out for that. But yeah, figure is looking really good. The chest plate's really nice, kind of bulky. Looks like the Hunter chest, but a little bit bulkier. He's got the Hunter shoulders, and actually the lower legs and whatnot are Hunter as well, including the undersuit. Back plate, kind of a little bit round, again, kind of sleek. There's the back of the helmet. There's actually kind of a lot of detail in there. Looks pretty nice. The visor on this guy is done very well. To be honest, I really haven't seen a poorly printed Stinger Spartan from Mega. I don't know how they managed it, but almost all of them I've seen look just pristine. So I think that's really, really good. Another reason why I love this armor. It just always looks really nice. So yeah, just straight out of the box, the base figure is really fantastic, and I would be happy just keeping him this way. But this is an armor pack, which means we do have more options. So here's our armor locker. The armor locker piece looks pretty fantastic. We have this kind of texture on the front printed with black. There's really no detail print-wise over the rest of it, but we have a bunch of peg holes. I mean, you can count that as printed detail, but it's honestly more ugly than anything. Lots of nice molding. We got anti-studs on the bottom, normal studs on the top, and some normal studs on the back. So there's plenty of ways to attach this to stuff, plenty of ways to fit this into like a diorama or whatever. We even have little bars on the side for figures that carry it. It almost looks like the artifact we see in Spartan Ops, the one that creates the teleport link to the Infinity. So yeah, there's a lot of options with this, but the reason that they give it to you is it hinges open and reveals all of the armor inside. This hinge is a bit annoying because it pops apart super easily. There's not much holding it in there, so you can just rip it in half without even trying. The armor fits in perfectly thanks to the little pegs there. So we have the chest plate on this side, and then some studs if you wanted to attach stuff there. The shoulder armor is already popping out. It really just sits on these pieces. There's like the little indents for the things to sit on there. And then the heads fit onto these little, these little like curved pegs with the ball joint. These are really, really helpful for when you're painting. You can easily, okay, come on. There we go. You can easily clamp these to some alligator clips or something, and then pop a mega figure head on there if you want to paint it. Gives it a nice solid foundation without you having to worry about accidentally painting your figure. Close that up. Looks pretty good. This one in particular is just really useful for a lot of different situations. Because it's black, it's not specifically set to one armor type. Black can be used for really anything. So then we have our parts, which hopefully my camera can focus on it because they're kind of small on my screen right now. Let's get in a little closer. So we have 2 extra helmets. A hunter helmet, which not a great visor print. It's kind of spilling over on the one side. And then we have an Athlon helmet, which also not a great visor. This is actually my second Covert Ops power pack, or not power pack, armor pack. The power packs were the gummy guys. I gotta say, the first Athlon that I got was so much better, and then I attempted to paint it and consequently ruined it. So, unfortunately, this is the only one of these helmets that I have, and it's poorly done. Front chest plate is Athlon. It looks really nice. I do like this piece a lot. Back plate is also Athlon. Looks good. And then we have some Athlon shoulders. So let me go ahead and grab the figure and let's try out some armor combinations. So here is our Spartan. Let's go ahead, pop off his pieces, some armor pieces. Pop that off. We'll pop the shoulders off too. Like that. This undersuit is not your standard Spartan undersuit. It actually is a bit different. You can see there's a bit more armor detail on there. The back looks pretty cool too. This is the one that we see all the time on the Hunter and Stinger armors. I don't believe they come on any other ones, but I could be wrong. So let's go ahead and pop the Athlon chest on like that. Athlon is just such a cool armor. I think, for the most part, I don't know that there's anybody that really dislikes Athlon. I mean, I'm sure there is, but there's not like a general dislike for it. So let's go ahead and pop the Athlon head on there. So that is what a Athlon in Spec Ops looks like. It's just such a bummer that the visor is so poorly done. It's just really kind of gloppy and not great. So that's cool. It's just, yeah, bit of a bummer about that. And then we'll pop the Hunter on there, which kind of like that, actually. And they kind of afford you some level of your own customization just because they don't give you all of the parts for these respective Spartans. So, like, we don't get all of the Hunter parts because we don't get a Hunter chest plate. So we can kind of do some pop and swaps. However, like I said, this also looks pretty poorly done. So what I'm actually going to do is I have a Call of Duty pop and swap here that has that helmet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that helmet and give him the Stinger helmet instead. This is just one of the Call of Duty mercenaries. He's from the mercenary like shipping crate set. I just gave him a different head just because the other one looked kind of boring and not like a mercenary. I wanted like sci-fi mercenary. So I gave him that head. And honestly, I like this one a little bit better, I think. It's less recognizable as a Halo thing. So that, for some people, I think that's why they don't like the helmet. But for me, it works pretty well. And also, Halo and COD pop and swaps are just super cool. So we're going to take that head, and we're going to put it on here because the visor is a lot nicer. There we go. This blocks his head movement a little bit, but to be honest, it's not too bad. What if now we use the hunter shoulders? Interesting. A lot of smooth, sleek surfaces. I believe one of these shoulder pieces, though, is a little stressed. Like, it's gotten stretched out and maybe cracked a little bit. This is a used set, so it would have come with a stand, too, originally. But I did get it used, so I didn't get the stand. And it also came with some stuff like, you know, slightly damaged shoulder. But honestly, I'm kind of digging that. That looks pretty nice. Looks like a customized Spartan, too, because this does look pretty darn close to the Hunter chest. It's just bulkier. So I think we'll leave it with this for now, actually. I'm kind of liking this. Yeah. So you do get a little bit of customizing options, more so with the armor. Like I said, the weapons, you don't really get much customization in terms of the weapons. You just get this, and he can roll with that. So there we go. Look at that. He's looking pretty sharp. Well, there you have it. That is the Covert Ops Armor Pack. So this set is pretty cool to me because we don't often get Covert Ops Spartans at all. We don't get the darker, more toned down Spartans. Mega definitely tends to go for the brighter with their various Spartans. So this is kind of a nice change of pace, and I really hope to see more along this color scheme. Although maybe doing a green visor, like a metallic green, would help the Spec Ops look a bit. But the red is pretty intimidating, so I think that's pretty slick, even though it's not quite on brand, so to speak. The little armor locker is a fantastic addition. Like I said, you really can stick it in anywhere. And honestly, it's given me a bit of an idea. So Mega could really bring back this set format super easily with the Halo Infinite coatings. Imagine being able to just buy a coating and an armor locker, and then you would have whichever parts, you know, right now Halo Infinite isn't cross-core, so maybe some coating specific parts, and then, you know, just go from there. There's like weapon lockers in the Halo Infinite like campaign, as far as I know. So maybe starting with something like that and, you know, just give us a weapon locker and give us the coating. I think that would be fantastic. And I would love to see this style of set return. I think for the most part, they were like $8 at Target for a while. I don't know how much the prices jumped on this one in particular, but I know the prices vary. I think the EOD one is the hardest to get purely because everybody wanted that EOD. But yeah, I highly recommend you check this one out. If you're looking for some more toned down Spartans or some parts just for painting, because you get a lot of extra parts, and so customizing options is pretty high. Yeah. If you can find this for like 12 or less, I would highly recommend it. Anything higher feels a little bit much because it is just one plain, unprinted, for the most part, unnamed Spartan. So 12 or less, plus shipping, of course, feels fair. Anything more, probably pass. But yeah, I like this format, and I'm interested to take a look at some more of them. I think I've got the JFO one, and I do have the Siege pack, which is the one with the EOD. I just have to find all the pieces. So yeah, and I'll see if I can find somewhere that is reliable that sells these. If I can, I'll put the link in the description or the pinned comment. If there's no pinned comment, then I probably didn't find anything. So yeah, highly recommend this one. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time.